Everybody, back to Cook's Radio again. Today I'm still French, so is there a good opportunity to put more video on YouTube? Well, for this series, probably going to be about my personal life. I know that few people ask me about my personal life. Most of people they never ask about my personal life. Maybe they are polite, or maybe they're talking about another topics. Well, the most important thing is that nobody ever asks me if I have a kid or not. No, I don't have any kid. Not because I have no potential to do that. I mean, in the term of to have a kid. But I think my reason is that I love peaceful, and I don't want so many factors, to get into my life, so I can work straight. Maybe because I've been studying too much. Like as you know that I got one bachelor degree, 3 master degrees, and 1 PhD. And the reason I mention about this not because I want to show off that I have so many degrees, but I just want to focus on my personal life. Well, of course, 1 bachelor degree, 1 master degree in Thailand, Prasanmit University, right? And Chulalongkorn University, that's master degree, both in physics. And after that, I got a scholarship from Ministry of Science to go to study abroad. And at that time, for study for PhD in microelectronic manufacturing. At that time, they have 3 options, for me to go, because I'm surprised few people got scholarship. I don't think I'm a good, about studying, but I just like working step by step. So they have 3 options to go to study abroad, and 1 to Japan, 1 England, and the last one is the States or USA. For my thinking at that time, of course, we born in Asia, so I want to experience in Europe. But why not England? Because there are some people who go to England. You can go to so many countries, right? Because that in Europe, England surrounded by France, Italy, German, so many countries. You can go to a short trip, and you can cross the border to go to another country, compared to the States. In the north, Canada, right? In the south, Mexico, and on the west coast, that's the Pacific Ocean, and on the right, I forgot what ocean. So I said, okay, we're being exposed with movies, technology, most of news that's come from the States. So that's why I choose to go to study in the States. So that's the background of my studying stories. And back to I was born in Chayapum, Chayapum Hospital, but my father had to move so often, every 4 years. He worked as the engineer. He's the officer. I don't know what to call, the city of, yeah, sorry, sometimes I don't have the word. That's as mentioned earlier that are study engineer. So sometimes like I cannot think about the word for something else, but most it's about engineering. So I went to elementary school in Lakmyeong Mahasarakham, and then go to middle school, Sarakham Pithiyakom. That's the more until more song, and then I moved to Khon Kaen, study more Sam at Khon Kaen Vithayayon, and then for more 4 to more 6 went to study at the Khon Kaen Demonstration School, and that's the my story of when I was there from elementary school to high school, and after that I took an entrance exam and end up with choose to study physics at the Prasan Mid University. Actually, I chose the engineering, but I did not pass the entrance exam, so I end up with studying physics. But I think it's a good background, even it's so difficult. Physics is not that easy. You have to dealing with math, physics, something that you cannot see. You have to use math, do some experiments to see how electrons are moving, how the crystal structure of materials. Of course, you also have to study about quantum physics, nuclear physics, and so far I haven't used that about nuclear physics. And then after that, what is my GPA at that time? Maybe people want to ask me. That's why I'm not a good student. I think it's 2.83 from 4.0, right? Same as nowadays. And then after that, I want to be an engineer, so I thinking about to join the program at the engineering school at the KMTL. But since I'm a graded bachelor degree in physics science, you have to be what I call, see, I forgot again. I haven't used English for a long time. You just be a temporary student. Let's say that. Okay, let's use easy word, not a permanent student, or matricular. I forget that word. MARTICU. Okay, whatever. And then I'm not sure that I can finish a paper or not, because my background in physics science physics, so maybe I have difficult time to pass or to complete a paper before be accepted to be matriculate. I think matriculate student, or permanent student or full-time student, let's say that. So I changed my mind. That's why I went to study master degree, join the program master degree physics at Chulalongkorn University, and that took me for 3 years to complete the program. Um, of course, also have a hard time because even you go for higher education, right, master degree, and you need to do research. And for the research, I work on a superconductor. I took 1 year to complete the paper, but I got a journal. I'm very proud of that. Pure math, clean function, nothing about experiment, nothing about practical. So you just like have a A4 paper, sit down and do a calculation, derive equations. That's pain in the neck, I tell you. But before that, you have to go through so many coursework, elementary particle physics, quantum physics, of course, electromagnetics, and so on. You have to go through seminar 1, seminar 2. That's you need to prepare a lot. But even for 3 years, think about we have 3 summers, right? We have summers. People love it because you have 3 months off, 3 months off, and that's you have like about 9 months off. And at that time, I stay my mom's house at Laxi, so have make trips at least I think more than 10 kilometers, from Laxi to Chulalongkorn University. Sometimes I have took a bus like number 25 or something. Langsit Hua Lamphong is so crowded because that bus go through the main part of Bangkok. It's the dense population go through a business area, right? You have to go through Chatuchak, Sapan Kwai, Anusawari Chai, Pratu Nam, I think Ratevi, and then Mabun Krong, and finally, be here at the. So it took about an hour. You need to wake up about 5 a.m. and catch, a bus before 6 a.m. Let's say before dawn. Okay. Dawn, I think, is there when before the sunrise. Dusk, D-U-S-K, that means the sunset at the evening. And sometimes I need to catch a train, and that's even crowded. Like I have to go to Laxi train station. It doesn't mean the train is getting close to Hua Lamphong, to the final destination. It doesn't mean that it's not so crowded. At that time, we talking about almost 30 years ago. People were, used their public transportation, bus and trains. You can imagine, some, of my students not even born yet. And then don't have a tollway, don't have a expressway at that time. The other pain in the neck is that my mom's house at Laxi, that's very close to Don Mueang Airport. At the time, we have no Suvarnabhumi Airport, right? Of course. The plane passed by, so many planes, so many all day, all night. even you're watching television, like the signal is not stable, but it's so noisy, I don't know how, manage decibels. It's just about planes taking off, flew very close to the roof of my mom's house. So that's really suffered, but I have no choice. So later on, I cut down to make trip. I make decision to stay. I asked one of professor to stay in his lab, sleep on the floor. Went out to Samyan to have food, and you have to. If you stay over there, you need to get a permission, after 9 p.m. to stay on the campus. Otherwise, security will kick you out. So we need to hide, turn on the light. Just you can do some reading and do some studying. So it's been like that for about 2 years, and such a release, that I complete the program. After that, I applied to be a lecturer at the Mahidol University, physics department. But later on, I changed my mind. So I make a decision that I need to go to abroad to pursue my study. I want to see, something different, expose, experience of different cultures. And I'm looking at to go to Europe or the States. And I know that I have the feeling that one day I'm going to be a lecturer, one day I'm going to be a professor. So just get rid of something that are in my mind that are you sure that you want to be a professor? So I make my decision. Let's try to go to work at a company. So that's why I got a job at Seagate, working on hard disk. And then I worked that for a year, and then when the scholarship came and I passed the exam and passed the interview, and money is waiting, tuition fees waiting, but the problem is that you have to pass the TOEFL exam to meet the requirement. I forgot at the time, I'm not sure, maybe about 400 or something. And then even I tried to read English. I tried to study by myself at the time. Imagine you have no World Wide Web. You rely on books. Still did not pass the exam. I'm thinking about to, study at AUA, right? Most about my age, about 50 up, probably, be familiar with AUA for somebody who wants to go to study abroad. And then I decided to quit the job at Seagate. I still remember manager, asked me, "Cook, can you come to my office? Did you feel uncomfortable about the work? Can you tell me why you want to quit the job?" So I said, "No, everything perfect, boss. I feel very comfortable working here. My colleagues, it's very nice, and I enjoy working. But I got scholarship to go to study abroad, and so end of conversation, no more. So the boss understand, the manager understand. So I spend a full-time study. Same. I have to take a bus every day from Laxi to Sao Ching Cha, right? Sengwon. And have a pad thai every day, have a khao man gai every day. But I have to, lock myself in the study room. I had been doing that for 3 months and took TOEFL again. Still did not pass still did not meet the requirement. I got about 425 from the requirement. I think it's about 470 or something. But I still apply. Have a strong letter of recommendation from my Professor Sutat Yoksan, outstanding scientist. I forgot, what year. And the plus, one of the plus, that's I've been admitted to enroll the master degree program. Is that of course I have a journal, right? Journal is the most important. That's one of the top. If you have journal when you do research, that means you're very outstanding, like a researcher. I forgot, when I study at the Chulalongkorn University, I also work as the research assistant for Professor Dr. Sutat Yoksan. I have more papers, journal, but that's a long time ago. Most of them are, of course, all of them are about superconductors. I got a payment about, as the researcher, I got about 12,000 baht per month. So let's go for tuition fee and transportation. Of course, at the time when I studied at Chulalongkorn University, I have about 10 classmates. Some are teachers, some is the police, some are army. Few of them still have a contact. And so when I admitted, to enroll at the time, I get to university. One is, I remember Drexel, Drexel. That's located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania State. And later on, I've been admitted from RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology. That's why I used my YouTube as the Cook RIT. R stand for Rochester Institute of Technology. Some people talk about Cook Grit or something. Why? Because I used the Cook RIT because I'm so impressed about the first university that I have a chance to join the program over there. Even it's tough, or it's been difficult, so difficult. One is I don't want to go to Drexel because the program that I will enroll is not really meet the requirement from Ministry of Science, but RIT is just perfect match, microelectronic manufacturing. And my dream starting seeing my dream, because once I want to be an engineer, I want to join engineer program, but I did not pass the entrance examination. But that scholarship specified that after I graduate, I will become researcher at the KMTL. Electronic Engineering Department Research Center. So, um, you know, I can see, what is coming. And the location of Rochester, I love that because they're close to Finger Lakes. You can see from the map. And it's the border between Canada and the States, up north. We call upstate New York. How much the government pay at the time, or the pocket money every month we were send a check from Washington D.C. $800. At that time, the currency exchange is the $1 per 20 bucks. But later on, we have our economic crisis, right? After I've been studying over there for 3 years or 4 years, the currency exchange become a double. $1 equal to 50 bucks. So it's just like skyrocket increasing. I mean, just pop up like 100%. But I'm appreciate about the government because the government still maintain the payment for 800 bucks. $800 every month. Does not include the plane ticket, one-way ticket, right? Also, book supplies. Books over there, hardcover is so expensive. One book may cost $100. And also supply one computer. I think it's about $1,300, if I'm not wrong. So for scholarship students, the government pay a lot. Thinking about $800 per month. 1 year probably what more than let's say maybe $10,000 per year, right? Yeah. And first year they not allow you to go back to Thailand, but later on they allow you to go back. But I never came back to Thailand. I spent straight 7 years in the States because at the time I thinking it took 24 hours to fly across oceans, and in the other side of the world, European people, they call Asia, they call like East. I want to travel to the East, and we call Europe as the West. So for 7 years, actually the scholarship take care you only 5.5 years, and the rest you have to be on yourself. But the last year, I got I walked to the head of department, and I said like, I have finished my research yet, so can I have a scholarship? And the head of department, very nice, not hesitated at all. He said, no problem, cool. Okay, you got scholarship. You become a teaching assistant. So I took care lab. That's the last year. The State University of New York at Binghamton, or now they call it University of Binghamton. That's the public university, not private. So the tuition fee is the costless, but still different between a U.S. citizen and international students. The tuition fee is still different. And then what happened is that I took care lab, not just like here when I'm working on the lab. I take care of only one lab. But over there I have to take care of like 12 labs. Control, semiconductor, programming, and it's not like this, over there you have to prepare, well prepare. But here I'm well prepared too. But luckily, I'm working, I in charge of computer lab, not hardware. Over there, both software and hardware. So you have to do the pre-work, because the American student, they're not like hesitate to raise their hand and stop you asking a question. Sorry, every time that they have something in their mind. But is that difficult for me? Is tough for me? Not really, because I already been through 2 master degree in the States already, and I spent 3 years, actually 2 years before I got the TA position or got the scholarship, so it's not so difficult for me. Even past the, we call like comprehensive exam. So I got a good opportunity to be able to teach, American students, and also are in charge in semiconductor devices, class. That's the theory. So both lab and theory, that's in charge, are to be teaching assistants. So all of them, even RIT, even University of Binghamton, I'm impressed. For RIT, it's so difficult because I switch. Even physics seems to be tougher than engineer, but I still have difficult time to study that RIT, the first master degree. Why? Because that's work like in industry. You need to do hand-on, lab. You need to get into a clean room, and professor explain you, like how to do this, how to do that. Of course, your English is not that strong because you just like new over there, and you have to go back to books. It's suffering, but you're gaining a lot. It's worth it. And you need to write reports. I have no time at the time at all. One class, every class, professor will assign you 5 problems every week. And 1 week, you have to take like 5 courses, thinking about 5 by 5, 25 problems that you have to finish. And you're new over there. So that's why I'm not a good student, but I do my best. You have no time to go out to see snow. You have no time to go out to see fall peak. I mean, when the leaves change colors, so beautiful, colorful, gorgeous. And you have no time to socialize. You just lock yourself in the library. You have to lock yourself in your apartment. Try to finish your homework. And imagine at that time again, no World Wide Web. You cannot search for solution, just like now. You can search some keyword. You use the keyword to search for topics. So that's long story about life. But I'm very proud that you can use the word no pain no gain. If you don't want to, if you don't pursue your study, or if you don't try something new, try something different, you get no experience. your life is just floating, you know, like let it go, let it go. So easy. It's 35 minutes already, so it's too long for you guys. Okay, maybe I'll continue later on. Maybe I'll get back to my lectures. I'm going to write lectures and post a video on thinking about our electronic packaging system for a senior student. Maybe so they can repeat. I will write some example or do some calculation. So that's going to lead them to more understanding, to have more pictures. All right, take care, you guys. Very nice, you know, to share my experience. I will do more. Have a good Tuesday, everybody. Take care. Okay, bye.